Good morning, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is David here on the Shrine Crypto YouTube channel. I'm about to cover the Mountain Miner project. I took my time yesterday. I spoke to some of the members and the dev teams in the Telegram yesterday. I asked a couple of questions, just to make sure I have an understanding on what the objective of this project is. So without further ado, let's check out the white paper. All right, guys. So white paper, you got explore the DeFi space. I guess that's a theme that they're going with. It's kind of like a space theme. All right. So this is pretty cool. I like that. There's nothing wrong with it. So here where it reads, introduction. What is Mountain Miner? Mountain Miner is a space. Mountain Miner in space is a multi-chain DApp that allows investors to purchase space shuttles in order to explore the endless DeFi space. Shuttles will indefinitely be exploring space to mine ores from mountains that can either be sold for profit or used to purchase more shuttles. Who created Mountain Miner? Mountain Miner is a project developed by the Paramount Finance. I don't know who Paramount Finance is yet. I'm not trying to put them down or put them up. I just don't know if they have history. I think I've heard of they have like a staking one. I forgot the name of it, but I think it's called Paramount Staker. So I've never jumped into that yet, so I don't really know the history. Moving on. So you got the BUSD smart chain. I guess this one launched on the 23rd. Today is the 26th, so that's just 3 days ago. They got audits by Solid Proof and Hayes Crypto. Now, guys, I'm not a fan of audits. I don't think audits mean anything personally. All right, so it's not to put the contract down. I just don't think that audits mean anything because I've seen certain audits take place on certain protocols and they rugged. They still was able to rug pull. All right. So bear that in mind, okay? So here's the basics. It's like you could the minimum deposit is 1 BUSD, minimum withdrawal 1 BUSD. The max, there's no max to the deposit, but the max withdrawal is 1,000 BUSD. So this is what I was discussing in the Telegram yesterday, and I think it's a really cool feature. This makes it very it's inviting to newer investors, right? This is more of a protocol that's made for the people who are not whales, people who are trying to establish themselves in the DeFi space. So that's one thing I give kudos to this team for, that they created a max withdrawal of 1,000 BUSD, which means it's going to be an extremely stable market, right? For the most part. Guys, you see how successful BUSD cross farmer is, right? It like during the bear market, the thing was going down like 1% at a time, while other projects was going down 13%, like crazy numbers every day. So that means with this one, 1,000 BUSD a day, that's a very slow bleed out. All right. Mind you, for me personally, if I'm going to be invested in this, I would do the cash flow strategy with this as well, right? So it's always smart to keep feeding the system because eventually you're actually feeding yourself. You're feeding your own portfolio. All right, guys. So keep that in mind. Let's look at the space map. So areas, 80% is contract balance. I like this as well. This is another thing that this team is doing very well. They're letting everybody know what percentage to expect depending on the health of the TVL. So that way there's no misconfusion. A lot of people who had a misconception in the other miners was not understanding that if the TVL is going down, the amount that the contract is able to push out is going to decrease, right? So people were crying that it says 8%, but it's kind of like, bro, it's a miner, and it's old news to understand that miners function in a way that they dish out up to 8% or up to whatever percent, but it can decrease. That should be common sense, but then again, it's not common sense when you're looking at it from the eyes of a brand new investor who just actually don't know better. They might actually be ignorant. So it's not their fault that they don't know that. But if you're watching this video, all miners have this concept. It's just that what they did here is they laid it out so you know what to expect at certain price points. So if you look at area 1, 5%. I think currently we're still at area 1. So that means bare minimum, based on what I'm seeing here, you can expect 5%. That's very bullish. That's very Very good. All right. I like that a lot. Bare minimum, 5%. In area two, you could earn 5.5%. And that's when the contract balance is over 50,000. Area three, when the contract balance crosses 100,000, expect 6%. Area four, 500,000, expect 6.5%. Area five, what's that? Yeah, area five, 7%. Contract balance, 1 million. This is possible. This can happen. Area six, 7.5%. That's when the contract balance is at 5 million. Now, this is definitely future, more further down the line, but they could always ride a momentum. Once they get that startup, they could always ride a momentum and go straight to the 5 million. So, what are we looking at here? So, what is this? So, that's for the BNB. Okay, so they have a breakdown that goes for all the different blockchains. All right, so that's pretty dope. I like how they did that. Now let's go to the mechanics. The compound bonus. So Spaceman can compound every 12 hours by using available ores to purchase more space shuttles. Each compound adds a 0.5% to the compound bonus. So compound bonus is reset to 0 after selling ores. The maximum compound bonus is 5%. So it's saying, yeah, so they have a compound bonus just like the legendary crops farmers project, but there's a little bit smaller. But remember, like, though their compound bonus might be smaller, their bare minimum payout is 5%. So that's, you pick and choose, your medicine. It's just a different approach, right? So the purpose of me making this video is just to point out the little nuances, the little things that I notice in projects when they appear to be similar, but they're really not. Space map. The space map has 6 areas that increase the daily ROI when unlocked. Areas are unlocked upon the increase of the contract balance to certain values, which are visible in the Dapp. Go to the ROI map section on each chain. If the contract balance is to decrease, the daily ROI will also return to previous area of lower ROI. Excuse me. So that's basically explaining what I told you guys from before. Like, based on the amount of capital that's locked in, that's what they're able to pay us out through. And like I said, bare minimum 5%, the max 7%. All right, guys. So that means plan for 5%, plan for the worst, and hope for the best. Mining permits. Space shuttles are required to have a valid mining permit to continue mining ores. The mining permit is renewed by any transaction on the contract, such as buy, sell, or compound. Mining permits are valid for 48 hours. Space shuttles will expire permits. Space shuttles will expire. Permits are not allowed to mine ores. So this is basically the cooldown feature. So if you sit down and you're inactive for more than 48 hours, you're not going to see no progress. You have to interact with the contract like within a 48-hour time span. Now, with the 48 hours, this allows you to take 2 days worth of earnings, right? Because we know that you have to compound for the 5 days straight. So if you have to compound for 5 days straight, and you want to take profit, you have the option of taking profit for 1 day's worth, which is 24 hours, or 2 days worth, which is 48 hours. All right, moving on. Anti-space well. An inbuilt defense system will prevent space whales from attacking your space shuttles and stealing your bags of ores. Okay. Space fines. Spacemen should sell their ores only at the official market, which requires 10 consecutive compounds. If spacemen try to sell ores on the black market, they will most certainly get caught by the space police, and 70% of their ores will be seized. Okay, guys? So that goes down to let you know that you must compound. You must have 10 compounds, right? 10 compounds equals 5 days, 12 hours divided, bare minimum, basically. All right. So if you're an investor, and let's say you start your investment on Monday, right? You start on Monday at midnight. At noon, you have to go ahead and hit the compound. That's one compound. At midnight for the Tuesday, that's another compound. All right. So that means 2 compounds per day and up to 10 consecutive compounds. You have the option to just keep compounding and not take profit to build your position, or you can go ahead and do the recommended 6-1 strategy that they're pushing out, where on that 6th day, you can go ahead and take profit without having to go through the 70% tax. Okay? So, and remember, the max you can take out on a withdrawal is $1,000 worth of ores. This is what I was having a conversation yesterday when I was in the chat, because I really want to understand, like, $1,000 max. It sounds low on one end, but it's good on a different end, right? So it's low if you're like a whale, you got a lot of money. It kind of like it penalizes you. And I went ahead and I did a math, right? I did a math for a person who have a larger capital, right? So I simply did. Let me move this calculator up so you guys can see it. I simply did 1,000, right, divided by 5%. That equals 20. That means in bare minimum right now, $20,000 will get you the max that you need to earn, that you're able to earn at this moment, if you're following the 6-1 strategy. Because look, you can't take out $1,000 every 12 hours, right? Because every time you actually make a withdrawal, guess what happens? You have to go back to compounding for 10 compounds. So if it takes you back, if it restarts your timer and you gotta do 10 compounds, or you go through a 70% tax, it only makes sense to expect a payout, like I would say, like once a week. Basically, you do your 6-1 strategy. So the max you could probably earn by playing the game the correct way would be $4,000 a month approximately, if there is 4 weeks in a month. If there's 4 weeks in that month, you can expect at max to make $4,000 from this project, which is good. This is a good way to establish yourself. And what it does is it trades in the exponential amount that you can earn to create a stable market to allow new users or new people to the DeFi space to build a strong position. It gives the little man a strong fighting chance. All right, so where you're not going to be stuck in a project that just keeps going down and keep going down. So, it's a double-edged sword. It has a pro, it has a con. Okay. Now, what I wish that they did was that the way that they have the percentage that you're allowed to earn, right? I wish that they allowed a higher withdrawal amount based on the tier. So if it's like, the smaller tier, if it has 5%, right, then you only could take out 1,000. But when the contract balance is strong enough to dish out 7% daily, then they should be able to increase it, make it like you could take out $2,000 at that point. I don't know. That's just my ideas, okay? But I'm not smarter than anybody. I'm just a YouTuber, covering and giving a fair shot. Referral system: spacemen that recruit friends will be rewarded with 3% immediately. And that's just basically that. I don't know if it compounds. I'm gonna have to ask. I hope the 3% doesn't compounds, but that's pretty dope. There's no reason to not use somebody's referral link if you like how they covered the project. So if this is your first time watching this and you would like to make an investment, go ahead and use my referral link, man. Show me some love, and I'm gonna keep putting these things out. The optimal strategy advised by Paramount Finance team is to compound for 5 days every 12 hours and sell ores for profits after 10 consecutive compounds. This strategy simultaneously increasing the initial investment and daily ROI. Then we go to fees. Now, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. Lately, I've been extremely bullish on miners. Okay, I know a lot of people don't like miners. I love miners because I'm playing a different financial game than one that requires me to pay attention to a chart and the value of a token that I jump in, right? Because miners put independent control in the user's hands. In the cross farmer project, guys, I came up with a strategy I call the cash flow strategy. A lot of people have been using it and they've been seeing a lot of gains. So I would like to share the strategy with this community as well, right? I'm not a hater, you know. So if you guys are new to this, if Paramount Miner is the miner that you guys chose, the cash flow strategy says this, guys. Instead of dropping $1,000 into a project and keep hitting the compound button, the safest way and the smartest way to invest is to, let's say you have $5,000, you split it up. You go in on day one with $1,000, and as each day go by, you basically add a small portion, right? So let's say you have $1,000, and then you want to make $100 a day until you use up your $5,000. That would be a smarter way to invest because you will keep up with an inflation. I just don't want any new people to that's into mountain miner who does not understand that miners have inflation to be caught off guard, right? I'm trying to give this community a fair starting chance so you guys can understand what you're jumping into. Miners have a concept called an inflation, and that's basically the value, the buying power increases, but the value of what you already purchased will consistently decrease. All right. So that means if you drop in $1,000 and then it gave you, let's say that $1,000 gave you 500 ores on Monday, $1,000 is going to give you 1,100 ores on Tuesday. All right. Which so that means you're gonna get more as the days progress. So keep that in mind if you guys are new to it. Hopefully the devs are a straight shooter. I hope you guys do a good job. You guys got a good reputation, so you got my cosign for sure. And I'm going to be jumping in the next 5 hours on the Mountain Miner on the AVAX blockchain. So yeah, guys, if you guys want to test this out, go ahead and do your own research. But I just covered the white paper. It's very simple white paper, you know, but I think they did a good job at addressing the problems that exist in other miners. Okay, so that is all I got for you guys today. Hope everybody have a good day. Stay blessed and peace out.